Our Jets fans, let's go. I know you're all hyped up after that Thursday night win against the Texans.
Oh, yeah, definitely a game with some serious highs and lows.
Yeah, for sure. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to start with Garrett Wilson, right? I mean,
No,
those
absolutely.
two one-handed touchdown catches. Seriously. Are we looking at like OBJ 2.0 here?
I mean, those catches will be replayed for years, that's for sure.
Well,
But
yeah.
it's more than just the flash, We're seeing Wilson become a real go-to guy for Rodgers, especially in those pressure moments.
Especially on that 3rd and 19. I thought the stadium was going to collapse when he pulled that one in.
It was like everyone held their breath and
Yep.
bam, total eruption. And that kind of clutch play, that could be exactly what the Jets offense has been needing.
For sure. All right, let's talk about the quarterback situation, though.
Okay.
Rodgers had a first half that, even as a diehard Jets fan, made me sweat a little bit. But then, boom, 3 touchdowns in the second half. Like, what is with this roller coaster performance?
I know, right? It's crazy. Career low in passing yards for a half, then he just flips a switch.
Yeah. Got to be partly getting used to the Jets system, finding his groove with the receivers.
Oh, yeah, totally. But also, remember those sell the team chants going around the stadium in that first half? Talk about pressure. Do you think that got to him at all?
Oh, absolutely. Fans have huge expectations for Rodgers. He's got this whole legacy, and Jets fans are desperate for a win. That kind of pressure, it messes with even the best of them. No doubt. Now, switching gears a bit, Davante Adams finally had the kind of game we've been expecting from him.
Yeah.
Was this like the official start of that Adams-Rodgers connection everyone's been waiting for?
It's tempting to say yes, especially with that late touchdown catch. But, the Texans were missing some key guys in their secondary.
Yeah, true. But I mean, you can't ignore Adams securing that onside kick to lock in the win. Dude's a competitor. He wanted that W bad.
Totally agree. Those little hustle plays, they can mean just as much as the big flashy ones. It shows how much a player's invested in the team.
Okay, flipping to the other side of the field, it seemed like C.J. Stroud was battling that whole sophomore slump thing. What do you think was going on there?
Well, remember, Stroud had a killer rookie season. Everyone had these crazy expectations, and now defenses have a year's worth of film to study.
Oh, yeah.
They know what to expect.
11 out of 30 passes, too, and his passer rating has taken a hit compared to last year.
Ooh, it's a lot of things, Tougher defenses, the playbook's probably more complex, and teams have figured out how to stop him.
Plus, the Texans were also missing some of their receivers, right? How much do you think that affected Stroud's game?
Oh, it definitely didn't help. Having your main targets out there makes a huge difference, especially for a young quarterback still building that connection.
Ugh. And speaking of young players, that drop touchdown by Malachi Corley. Ouch. As a Jets fan, that brought back some bad memories.
Oh, tell me about it. Heartbreaking, but it also kind of highlights a bigger issue for the Jets. These mental errors that can just kill a drive or even a whole game.
So true. Like that penalty on the Texans' field goal. Almost let them back in the game because of it.
Right. Those self-inflicted wounds, they're frustrating, especially for a team trying to build momentum. The big question is, can they clean that up and build on the good stuff from this win?
Okay, so we've talked about the big names, but what about the stuff that doesn't always make the headlines? Anything stand out to you beyond the box score?
You mean like the deep dive details that only the hardcore fans notice? I like it.
Exactly. Like the Jets' defensive line with 8 HT sacks on Stroud. Savage.
Oh, that was a clinic. Totally shut down the Texans' passing game with that constant pressure. Really smart strategy considering the Texans were missing those receivers.
Yeah, that was brutal. But on the other side, their run defense. Not so great. Joe Mixon still got over 100 yards on the ground, and that always makes me nervous as a Jets fan.
Yeah, fair enough. Stopping the run has been a weakness for the Jets this season. They got to fix that if they want to hang with the big boys.
And they were playing with a makeshift offensive line, too, because of all those injuries.
Yeah.
That had to affect Rodgers, right?
No question. The offensive line is key for any quarterback, but especially for someone like Rodgers who needs that time to read the field.
So, big picture time.
Mhm.
We got this awesome win, but the Jets are still 3-6. What does this tell us about their potential?
It's a good sign, for sure. But the real test is, can they keep it up? Can they cut down those mental errors and turn these great moments into consistent performance?
Ugh. As a Jets fan, that's the question that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
This win gave us a glimpse of what they can do, but can they bottle that magic and make a real playoff run?
We'll see, right? But it's definitely pumped some optimism back into the fan base. And for a team that struggled, that belief can be a powerful thing.
Yeah, it's a total roller coaster.
Yeah.
You're up, you're down. Just like that Corley drop, one minute you're celebrating, the next you're like, please, Not another Jets meltdown.
Oh, that's the perfect way to put it. It was like the whole Jets season in one play. Amazing potential, and then those mistakes. And it's not just this season either. It's like the Jets have always had these mental hurdles. It's almost like they need to like break a curse or something.
Maybe this win is the start of that. They took down a tough Texans team, even with all the injuries they were dealing with.
And primetime game too. The whole country was watching, and they stepped up. That says something about their, their grit.
For sure. It was a statement win.
Yeah.
They showed everyone they're not going to just lie down.
Exactly. And now they've got the Cardinals next. If they can get a few more wins, who knows? Playoffs might not be such a crazy idea.
Try not to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard not to feel a little hopeful now.
That little hope's a good thing. It's what keeps us fans coming back, right?
Right. But you got to stay realistic, too. They still have a lot to prove.
Absolutely. Okay, but can we just appreciate the defensive line for a sec? 8 sacks on Stroud? Are you kidding me?
Clemens and Sherwood with 2 each, and Quinnen Williams was a beast, just disrupting everything.
Total pass rushing clinic. They took advantage of those missing receivers and just shut Stroud down. Smart game plan, force a young quarterback into quick decisions under pressure, and boom, it worked.
Yeah, but the run defense.
Yeah.
Not so impressive. Joe Mixon still got over 100 yards. Can the Jets stop a truly elite running back? That's what I want to know.
It's a good question, for sure. Stopping the run has been a weak spot for them this season. Got to figure that out if they want to be serious contenders.
And then there's the offensive line, all patched up because of those injuries. How much do you think that affected Rodgers?
Oh, it definitely played a role. Rodgers is at his best when he has time, time to see the field, make his reads. The O-line needs to give him that.
But they still pulled it off. It was a gutsy win, a team win.
Exactly. And that's what's so encouraging. Beyond the individual players, it feels like they're starting to gel, to believe in themselves as a unit.
Coach Ulbrich deserves some credit, too. Kept the team focused during that 5-game losing streak.
Definitely. He's done a great job as interim head coach. The players are buying in, and that's huge.
Right. You know what else stood out to me? It was a small thing, but after the game, when Adams got that onside kick, Rodgers and Adams, they were obviously celebrating, right? But then Rodgers goes straight over and gives Wilson this big hug.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was a cool moment. Rodgers, a Super Bowl champ, celebrating with his young receiver who just made those unbelievable plays.
It shows you what kind of leader he is. He's not just thinking about himself. He's invested in his teammates, in building that winning mentality.
Those little moments, that connection, that's what builds championship teams.
Yeah.
It's more than just the plays. It's about the heart,
I like that. All right, I think we've covered a lot here. The amazing plays, the frustrating mistakes, the individual guys, and the team as a whole. It's been quite the journey, hasn't it? Breaking down this win, all the ups and downs, everything.
The Jets experience in a nutshell, right? The emotional roller coaster. Never a dull moment.
For me, this win, it felt different. It wasn't just luck or facing a weak team. It felt like a real shift, like they're figuring things out.
Yeah, I get that. There was a toughness there, a fight that we haven't seen consistently enough.
The big question now, though, is can they keep it up? Can they turn these flashes into something real, something consistent?
That's the challenge, right? To build on this, not let it fade. We can analyze all we want, but sometimes it comes down to something you can't measure. Belief.
And this win has to give them that, right?
Yeah.
Knowing they can beat good teams, handle the pressure.
Absolutely. It's proof they've got the talent, the coaching, the heart. Now they got to put it all together, week after week.
It's crazy how one win can change everything, Last week, we were talking about draft picks. Now, playoffs don't sound so impossible.
That's the NFL, baby. Every Sunday's a new story. And for the Jets, this was a big one.
A message to themselves, to the league, to the fans. They're not giving up.
And for you, as a Jets fan, hang on to that feeling. Enjoy the win. Keep that hope alive. Maybe, just maybe, this is it.
Every Jets fan's clinging to that, that's for sure. Well, I think we've covered it all. The good, the bad, the potential way.
A game Jets fans will be talking about for a while, that's for sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep the faith. And as always, keep those conversations going.